everybody, this is Krista from Adventures in Metaphysics, and today I wanted to take you through a new to me deck, the Tarot of the Gnomes, put out by Lo Scarabeo. The art is by Antonio Lupitelli. So this deck is really unexpectedly unique. It's got these beautiful backs, first of all, which I cannot get over. But while it follows the usual tarot structure that we're used to, the card meanings seem to differ with the keywords that we're given, and you'll see that. But I wanted to read a little bit from the guidebook where it explains this. It says, "The world of the gnomes. To fully understand how to interpret this deck, something more should be known about the gnomes. If at first they seem gentle, funny, and delightful, their world, similar moreover to cheerful medieval times, is not free from human tragedies, anger, laziness, pride, solitude, greed. This is the story of Saikin? I know I'm not pronouncing that right. A gnome who crossed the entire world of the gnomes. This is a fable which contains the meanings of the arcana." So Saikin is the fool. So like usual, the story goes that we are following the fool throughout his journey. But this deck seems to be made in order to really lay out a story and bring you into this different world of the gnomes, and it gives it this really fable-like feel, which is very interesting. So let's get into the cards. So we have the title here, and then we also have the name given in 4 different languages, which is pretty typical for Lo Scarabeo decks. I love how carefree he looks. He's got a missing shoe, this huge flower with all these bees, and he just doesn't even seem to notice. The magician, who looks rather grumpy. I love the feel of these decks, this kind of medieval fairy tale book feel. The High Priestess. She looks like such a gossip to me. Which I guess in a sense is kind of the High Priestess. That sense of mystery and that she knows more than you do. But it gives it to me in kind of a gossipy way, which I kind of like. The Empress. She looks really warrior-like. Which still gives off motherhood vibes, but kind of a mother bear type thing. The Emperor. He cracks me up. Look at that smile. I really, really love gnomes. I have one little one that I keep in my garden, and I just love him. The Hierophant. The Lovers. Look at how cute that is between the trees. The Chariot. I love this one with the rabbits. And it's kind of interesting because we have this storm back here, so it gives this sense of kind of running from the storm. Kind of like you are in control, but you have to keep moving forward. That's interesting. Justice. The Hermit. I think he is so funny. The Wheel. These cards do have a bit of a gloss to them, so I'm trying to hold them at an angle where we don't catch the light so much, but it's not crazy glossy, but it is slightly there, so just something to take note of. Strength. I can't tell what kind of animal this is. It looks kind of alligator-ish, but considering the size comparison we get through the rest of the cards, I feel like it could just be a lizard, which is so funny to me. And I love this this cheetah print hat she has on. I think that is just so funny. The Hanged Man. He looks like he got himself stuck there. which actually is interesting because you could look at the Hanged Man as getting stuck in one point of view and not branching out from that. Death. I love this one too. It's interesting, all the treasures here. Temperance. The Devil. I wish I could tell what kind of creature this is. Obviously, it's supposed to be the devil, but with this beak, I've never seen that before. The Tower. The Stars. I love this one. It reminds me of Peter Pan. I know these aren't trees, but when I first see this card, it looks, or sorry, these aren't buildings, but that's what I first see when I pull this card, but it's actually trees in the background. But I think of that scene from the Disney version of Peter Pan where they're flying over the buildings of London, which I really like, because I do think, I mean, that movie is kind of all about hope in a way, so it works in my brain. The Moon, I love this too. I love that we're getting these beetles. The Sun. That's funny that he has to kind of shield himself a little bit. I feel like there's definitely some meaning in that. Of that it's good to spend time in the sun, but not too much. Judgment. And the World. This one reminds me. I'm gonna keep bringing up Disney for some reason today. I'm really not even like a super Disney fan, but that just is what's coming in my brain with these cards. It reminds me of that Mickey Mouse short movie. Oh my gosh, I feel like everyone knows the name of it and it's just leaving my brain. But the one where he's like the wizard apprentice. Anyway, now we are on to the cups. Now, instead of getting the name of the card, we get keywords down here. And that's where we're kind of going to veer from that typical tarot structure in a way, like I was mentioning before, because the keywords really don't match up totally with, say, the Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. But you know what? Now I'm wondering if it's supposed to be a different system. I really don't know much about other systems, but that would be interesting. I didn't even think of that. Anyway, so the Ace of Cups, we have pleasure. Two of Cups, harvest. Three of Cups, steadfastness. This card cracks me up. It makes me think of that I Love Lucy scene where they're crushing all the grapes, but oh my gosh, his little tushy. Four of Cups, tradition. So you see, like, that really, really veers from the Rider-Waite-Smith, but now I'm going to have to look into if this is meant to be following another system. But I kind of get the feeling that it's supposed to be its own world entirely, so kind of its own system. Five of Cups, experience. I love the little scientist gnome. I think these would be really, what I've kind of been using them as is oracle cards in a way. So I've been pulling them and paying attention to the keywords like I would with oracle cards, and that's been really working. Six of Cups, the wedding. Yes, we really are following a story here. Seven of Cups, truth. Eight of Cups, social life. They read very oracle-like to me. Nine of Cups, drunkenness. 10 of Cups, holiday. I would love to know the association with this boar or wild pig to mean holiday. I would love to know. Page of Cups, love. Knight of Cups, seduction. Riding on this badger. That is so funny. I love how these cards really take you into that world and how you get the sense of how small they are just based on the animals they interact with. Queen of Cups, pregnancy. King of Cups, family. All right, moving on to the swords. We've got the Ace of Swords with force. Two of Swords, spite. So these swords, well, I think a lot of decks can make the swords a bit harsh, but I like to look at them as thought. This one definitely takes it more to that kind of harsh place, I think. Three of Swords, charity. Four of Swords, equity. Five of Swords, freedom. That really does feel like freedom to me. It's kind of like when you get to buy your own milk gallon and drink straight out of it, or eat out of the tub of ice cream because it's all yours. That you do get a sense of freedom with that. So good. Six of Swords, idealism. It looks like a dinosaur. Huh. Seven of Swords, imprisonment. Eight of Swords, training. Nine of Swords, duel. 10 of Swords, betrayal. That's interesting. Page of Swords, fanaticism. Knight of Swords, diplomacy. Oh, I bet they're all going to be different animals on here. That's really, really cool. Queen of Swords, agreement. I love this Queen of Swords. I like how we have them all dressed in this kind of army gear, ready for battle, but I love this dark background behind her. And that sense that she's the voice of reason. She's going to make everyone come to an agreement. King of Swords, conscience. He really looks like he's weighing his options here. All right, we've got the Wands, Ace of Wands, work. Two of Wands, fervor. Three, labor. See, that looks so much like a 10 of Wands, but we're on our own system with this deck. Four of Wands, preparation. Five of Wands, growth. Huh. I'm not super sure how that depicts growth. I'll have to look into that one. Six of Wands, good fortune. Seven of Wands, disagreement. That is so funny. It looks like this old married couple and they've just had it with each other. Or he's sneaking back in from somewhere. Oh my gosh, the drama. Eight of Wands, accident. Nine of Wands, punishment. It almost looks like the oh, they're not the same character, but you could kind of see that as the aftermath of the accident. 10 of Wands, argument. That's interesting. Do we have argument and disagreement? Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess they're two different things. Argument is more the act and disagreement is the fact of the matter. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about that. Page of Wands, dependence. Interesting. Knight of Wands, career. I love the bunny. All of the knights seem to have this really cloudy background. Queen of Wands, inspiration. That matches pretty well, I think, with our usual tarot meanings, I mean. King of Wands, power. And finally, we've got our coins. So Ace of Coins, business. We've got the beetle again, which I love. Two of Coins, association. Three of Coins, savings. Four of Coins, vanity. I love this card. It looks like, I'm sure it's some other kind of bird, but it looks like a crow, especially since it's collecting these shiny things to put in its nest. Giving the sense of, I think that actually matches pretty well with the usual tarot meeting of kind of hoarding away these things, these material items, as if that's really, what's going to matter. Five of Coins, failure. That works too. Six of Coins, treasure. Okay, I feel like the coin suit is kind of matching up to the standard tarot meetings the most. Seven of Coins, mistrust. That is so funny. Eight of Coins, poverty. Okay, we're veering again. But again, it's supposed to be its own world, which I do think is really fun. Nine of Coins, avarice. I don't know what that word means. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Avarice. I have not heard that. And 10 of Coins, theft. Page of Coins, loan. Knight of Coins, taxes. So this coins or pentacle suit is really leaning heavily into the material wealth side of things, which is not usually how I tend to look at it, but I do think this deck is really, really fun. Queen of Coins, foresight. And the King of Coins with success. I'm really excited to keep working with this deck. I think we should do a little 3-card sample pull just to get an idea of how these keywords work together, and if, having a knowledge of Rider-Waite-Smith, let's say, is going to get in the way of being able to read these. But I don't think so. I think if you think of it more as oracle, it will work. Oh, let's focus here. Okay, so we've got the Hanged Man, 5 of Cups, which is experience, and the King of Wands, which is power. So this is kind of saying to me that maybe there's a situation going on where the new perspective you need to gain is balancing your desire for power and the actual experience you have. Sometimes I feel there's a tendency to kind of strive after things or try and get ourselves into these positions of power, which without really having the experience to back it up. So perhaps the new perspective you need to gain, or a perspective you're even just stuck in, is being resistant to learning what you need to learn to go where you want to go. So I feel like those keywords worked really well. I really like using these. I think they're fun, and it's really cool to kind of string together stories with them. I think these are really fun. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that walkthrough of the Tarot of the Gnomes, and we will see you all again soon.